What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. Leave a comment, leave a like. If you support me, support the content, support the Go Up movement. Let's get into it. Well, actually, before I begin, let me say that I had to unplug the computer for a reason, and all these different wires. I got to plug it back up and hook it back up. It's going to take a day or so. And so that's why I've been missing in action. I tried to do a video on my phone yesterday, this same video right here. I got to 17 minutes and 16 seconds. The video was about to be over, and then the damn thing turned off on me, talking about I ain't have enough data to continue. So I couldn't even get the content out yesterday, but I'm determined. And with determination comes results. And so though I don't have my proper equipment right now, I just have to work off of a phone and still try to get the content to you as best I can. So there's no editing on this, just raw content. Bear with me, my Go Up movement, and the content will improve, or at least the theatrics of it all soon, the editing and such. But for right now, again, I just had to get something out to you. Now, this story takes us to the Los Angeles County Jail. Once again, where again, violence is rampant. Racial tension is at an all-time high at all times. We are cool with other races. We are cool with the Southsiders, but always there at the forefront is the threat of a riot for one infraction or another. And as I said here on the thumbnail, this was over so-called bathroom etiquette, where the Southsiders, now, I was cool with the head honcho Southsiders there, the shot callers, my boy Smokey. Shout out to my boy Smokey, my partner. I think about him all the time. Corona, who, as I said, ended up going PC in the penitentiary. The county jail is one thing. The penitentiary is a different beast. Excuse me. And sometimes these dudes be strong in the county jail, get to the penitentiary, they are nothing and nobody. Night Owl was in the cell with Corona. Here, Stony, my boy Stony, was the Southsider shot caller for the 4004 floor at this juncture, eventually for the 2000 floor as well. And Stony and I were so tight that when he got to prison, he wrote Night Owl a letter. I saw it. Night Owl showed me the letter asking about me, saying to make sure that I was okay and to look out for me. That had really touched me, because Stony's, a Southsider. He's a Mexican. He's from a different race, and with the racial tension being so high, even though he and I were so close, I still, you don't know how authentic it is in that sort of environment. But when he got to prison and was still thinking about me and I was on his mind, that let me know that he was my friend indeed. I don't care who doesn't like it. But in this situation, well, the young homie from Broadway, I believe his name was Smash, something Smash. He was there from Fadu's Broadway, had a little size on him. He was there in 4800, down on a lower tier in the cells, so 4-man cells. He had been there for a little while. Southsider comes in the cell, and they end up having a little spat. The dude from Broadway lets me know what the spat was over. And that was that the Southsider came in there essentially trying to push a line, telling him that their protocol dictates that you have to sit down when you urinate, sit down on the toilet to take a piss. And the dude from Broadway told him, that's not gonna happen, that's not gonna fly. First of all, I've been in this cell, we have been in this cell. How you gonna come in here dictating how the cell is going to be ran and operated? I didn't come into your cell, you came into mine. And for two, that's really feminine to sit down and take a piss. Only women do that. So no man is going to do that. No black man is going to do that. And why would we? What is this all about? So when he told me about it, I took it to Stony. And I told Stony, man, so that we don't have a problem, that my people don't have a problem with your people. You know, get at your people. What is he talking about? And Stony said, well, that is our protocol. That is our program, bro. We believe that when you take a piss, when you urinate and you stand up, that the water splashes. When you piss into the toilet, the water comes up and splashes about the cell area, splashes all around the toilet, splashes on the sink, perhaps splashes on one of your cellies, the particles. So we believe that it's more hygienic to sit down and take the piss. I said, well, it's still gonna splash. Maybe your legs and your buttocks is blocking the splash or something, but it's still gonna splash for one. For two, because I remember when I was in San Bernardino County Jail, as I told you guys before, and I was in Glen Helen for a second. And you had separate toilets. You had toilets that you can piss in and toilets only for you to take a shit in, to take a number two, right? And so at one time, the toilets had flooded that you take a piss in. So the only toilets that were available were the ones that you only take a shit in and not a piss. So you had to sit down to take the piss. And I remember one of the homies from San Bernardino, one of the Crips out there, said, man, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't finna sit down and take the piss. I said, man, I'm finna sit down. I gotta take a piss. I guess he ain't had to piss that bad. But he was so hell-bent on not sitting down on the toilet to take a piss, he probably would have rather pissed on himself. So I'm telling Stony, that's not gonna fly with my people. No black man is gonna sit down in jail and take a piss deliberately. He's gonna stand up and hold his Larry. He's gonna stand up and hold his Johnson like a man. And he's gonna stand there with his chest out and take a fucking piss. He's not gonna sit down like a woman. Should he wipe himself afterwards? And I understand you guys' protocol and your program and your hygiene, and that you believe that, again, the water splashes everywhere when you stand up and take a piss. That's fine. But let your people know he can't dictate to my people how we program, bro. That's y'all protocol and y'all's program. It would behoove him not to go inside of the cell looking for trouble. So Stony said that he was gonna holler at him and let him know that's our, because the dude was a little bit younger as well, that's our program, that's our protocol, and we cannot impart that or demand that of anyone else. And the Southsider at first, at least even according to Stony and according to Smash, seemed to go along with that. But then he began to make comments again later on down the line, a couple of days later, saying how nasty it was, and that shit is nasty, man. Motherfuckers stand up and take a picture. Every time, it was a non-affiliate in a cell with Smash, a black non-affiliate. And both of them told me that every time they would stand up to take the piss, dude started mumbling under his breath, making all sorts of comments. They let it go for a while. And then they confronted him about it and told him, bro, your people already told you what the situation was, that you can't tell us about this, man. And he said, I ain't said nothing. He said, well, every time we do this, you have something to say. Every time we stand up and take a piss, just let it go. And, well, he did not take heed to that. He continued on with his mumbling ways. And one day, Broadway say, he was standing up taking a piss. And then the Southsider just said, man, I don't care, man, this shit is just nasty though, bro, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta sit in here and the shit splashing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So Broadway say he was still patient with him and told him, man, bro, I done already told you that sitting down for me and my culture is a feminine thing, is a feminine trait. So it's like you sex playing me. You playing me like I'm a woman when you keep asking me to sit down, and I done already told you how I take that. And you continue with this. Don't let it happen again. You let it happen again, and it's the same situation as when I said before in my prior video about the Southsider using the N-word, and that you just heard the rumbling going on down there in the cell. This is the same situation. It was just a fight that broke out there in the cell. Smash, he did drop the Southsider. He did break his face up some. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna exaggerate either. He put a hurting on him because he was upset because he said that the dude was playing him like he was a female. So that one time he had stood up to take a piss, the Southsider had made another comment. Smash said he finished with his piss, washed his hands, and took off on the Southsider right there in the cell. The non-affiliate took off on the other Southsider. They was in there fighting. It was a damu, a blood, next door. He took off on his cellie. So it was a bit of a melee, but it was just those two cells that were involved. And when we found out what was going on and had caught wind of it, me and Stony, we went down there to holler at our respective people and see if we can quell the situation. And Broadway explained right there in front of Stony what had happened, that his people was playing him like he was a female and that he was at his wit's end and couldn't take it anymore. So he did what he had to do and he took flight. And yes, he did drop the Southsider. That's just part for the course. That's just part of the game, because the dude was relentless in his attacks on the blacks in the cell about this so-called bathroom etiquette, about them sitting down to take a piss. And he kept pressing that issue. And dude from Broadway had finally, after going through the proper protocols and proper channels, hollering at me, and then I went through the proper channels, hollering at his people, who then hollered at him. But he still decided that he was going to run his own program. And he continued to make those sly and snide remarks until Broadway was at his wit's end and it took flight on the dude. And Stony did let the rest of his people know there, I was there, that that's their program. Them sitting down to take a piss. And by the way, not every Southsider was doing that, because I had some in the cell that was not sitting down taking a piss. So this was really something I believe that Stony was just pushing, and sometimes they would do it and sometimes they wasn't. But some of them was pushing that, but not all of them. Excuse me. But he was one of them that was pushing it. And so he comes inside of this cell and tries to push that and dictate the program. And that was the end result of that. He ended up getting dropped there in the cell for what Broadway perceived as, he took offense to what he was doing and what he was saying. He perceived it as him playing him like he was a chum. And he was upset about it, and he did what he had to do. Now, that's the Los Angeles County Jail, where there's constant violence and constant tension between the races. And sometimes the Southsiders try to push a line on us about particular programs and dictates and edicts, and sometimes we try to push a line on them. One group or the other doesn't want to go for it, and we end up clashing. This is constant in the Los Angeles County Jail. When the blacks are not at one another's throats, we're at the Southsiders' throats. Both of us. We're at the Southsiders' throats together. So that's what transpired there. He came in there pushing this line about sitting down. What do you guys think about grown men sitting down taking a piss? I did do it before. As I said, in the county jail when I had to go. But the homie from San Bernardino, he refused to do it. He would not do it. And I would not do it just deliberately, just regularly, just for no reason. I had to do it in the situation that I did it. But if you don't have to do it, some people may not see anything wrong with it. I'm asking. Some people may say, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hell, I sit down and take a piss. I feel better. I feel more comfortable sitting down. That may be your position. I don't know. I'm asking. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. about sitting down taking a piss or standing up and holding your Larry like a man. Be back soon with more content. Stay free, people.